climate risk financing. I know Zimbabwe is part of ACR, Africa Risk Capacity, and we have received some amounts from there, but that is actually not enough. It must do a lot in order to cushion the vulnerable groups, including the youth and also the women who are. I will rush through the policy recommendations because I'm seeing the coordinators indicating the issue of time. So what are the policy recommendations, which I think is very important for the policymakers and other actors who are central to this issue? There is need to promote climate sensitive and resilience budgeting. So as long as our budget is not climate sensitive and resilient, that will actually stifle our efforts to fight the impact of climate change on public debt. So there is need of concerted efforts from the policymakers to advocate for that. There's also need for us to address the technical issues, for us to qualify for debt relief and also concessionary funding. Then another issue also is the issue of strengthening early warning systems. While the efforts are commended from the development partners, especially through FuseNet, there is need for the government departments to be strengthened, especially the meteorological department. Adequate budgetary support and also improve on the governance and on governance and good governance rather in these derivatives, that is transparency, accountability, and also participation of stakeholders, and also ensure that there are strong legal and institutional frameworks, including resilient institutions to fight climate change. Then the issue of multi-stakeholder and multi-sectoral approach is also critical. Organizations need not to work in silos, but they need to coordinate in the fight of climate change. And also those that are working on climate change, they need to work hand in glove with the organizations that are pursuing the issue of debt sustainability. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doc, for taking us through the relationship between climate change and public debt, as well as sharing with us the regional and international experiences on that. Maybe what comes to mind is for us, before we give recommendations, for us to understand possibly the current mechanisms that are in place for building resilience, given the fact that climate change is a reality and it will be with us. What policy mechanisms are in place and what are their weaknesses before we recommend that we need to have strong resilience mechanisms. And then the other issue is for us to understand how really Zimbabwe has suffered from climate change in terms of debt over time, rather than for us to understand how it was impacted in just 1992 and just under the cyclone Idai. If you give us maybe from 1980 to 2020,